The European Commission has reprimanded France for breaching the EU's budget rules as the country prepares for elections. This sets the stage for potential conflicts between Paris and Brussels, especially with far-right and left-wing parties promising increased spending amid a need for budget cuts. Omer Bakkaloglu reports.
When Emmanuel Macron came to power as France's youngest president in 2017, he pledged to revive the Eurozone's second-largest economy. But 7 years into his presidency, he has struggled to get public finances under control. Last year, France's deficit ended up at 5.5% of GDP, well above the government's target of 4.9%. The country's debt rose to the tune of around $3.2 trillion, or 110% of GDP last year. That's the worst GDP to debt ratio in the Eurozone after Greece and Italy. The government aims to narrow the deficit below the European Union's 3% limit by 2027, when Macron's presidency ends. France has in the past avoided penalties for breaking EU budget rules, thanks to its significant influence on the bloc's politics. But with its mounting deficit and debt levels, it can no longer expect Brussels to turn a blind eye. On Wednesday, the European Commission formally warned 8 members, including France, over their excessive budget deficits.
The Commission has identified 12 member states with deficits that exceed 3% of GDP. We have analyzed the reasons of the situation and concluded that the deficit criteria is not fulfilled in 7 member states: Belgium, France, Italy, Hungary, Malta, Slovakia and Poland. This means that for these member states, the Commission will propose decisions establishing the existence of an excessive deficit procedure.
The move comes at a sensitive time as France prepares to hold legislative elections, with frontrunners making generous spending promises and pledging tax cuts for businesses.
The first step is to address the emergency, to re-establish the truth on the finance of the nation. It's about purchasing power. That means reducing the VAT on energy, because today, what chokes our fellow citizens and our businesses is, you might have noticed, that there has been a surge in the number of failing businesses.
I think that in an economic point of view, and only in an economic point of view, the program of the far right, the Rassemblement National, is quite a problem, because they say they will spend a lot of money and they will decrease taxes a lot. So it will widen the public deficit, and by a huge amount. I mean, tens of billions of euros, maybe more. So the public deficit in France, which is already huge, will be even bigger.
If Le Pen's Nationalist Party wins the parliament majority, France will come under particular scrutiny. Europe's second-largest economy is required to present Brussels' stringent plans to shrink its excessive deficit in the coming weeks. And the biggest risk is that a Le Penist economy minister might not be willing to increase taxes or cut spending to comply with EU rules. Omer Bakkaloglu, TRT World.